Hello and welcome to Tantrum House Studio Awesome. I'm Ryan, and in this video I'll be talking about how hard it is to make crime pay in fiction's Memoirs of a Gangster from Ludonova. It's time for your family to take control of the city, and where better to do that from than the mayor's office? In fictions, players take on the role of a mafia boss with eyes on being mayor. But first, you need to gain enough reputation to build your criminal organization to where it is strong enough to win you the election. The full game takes place over 3 chapters. In the first 2, you play one of 5 scenarios centered around illegal activities that will gain you reputation points that you will use in the intermission between scenarios to recruit stronger henchmen to bring into the 3rd chapter, which is always the election scenario. Each scenario has its own special decks to work through and different rules to follow to shake things up. But, in general, on their turn, a player uses 2 actions to either recruit henchman cards or use those cards to overcome challenges. When acting to overcome challenges, players will play up to 2 henchman cards and roll a number of dice based on how well those henchmen match the nature of the challenge. Players hope the sum of their roll is at least equal to the challenge's difficulty, but there's always the chance that the dice might result in a henchman being exhausted from the scenario or knocked out of the current game. To help them succeed, the current player can choose to also roll a red die for greater risk and reward, and any player can exhaust a henchman to use its skill to assist. Players have to find a good balance between getting rid of the penalties dealt to them and the evidence accumulating, keeping the police under control, reviving their best henchmen before they are lost forever, and actually completing the goals of the scenario. It seems to be all too easy to lose momentum and have things spiral out of control. As a cooperative game, I find the temptation to quarterback the other players is going to be strong here, despite the rules about limited communication, but I do think co-op plays better than the solo rules. My most controversial opinion is probably that I think the game should really just be that final bid for power scenario expanded, with the other scenarios kind of smaller and interspersed on the side. Having a 3-scenario campaign might be a sweet spot between longer campaign-type games and one-and-done games, but I'd rather it was one or the other extreme. Granted, I don't know how they would actually pull off what I'm suggesting, so maybe it is the best game it can be for the story it is telling. If you think fiction's Memoirs of a Gangster sounds interesting, I think it's a game worth checking out.